Illuvium has been building their next generation Monster Hunter game against all odds, but the official launch of their game is almost upon us. Now is the perfect time to start learning the ropes of this addicting game that could be a contender to break out into the mainstream. Is Illuvium the next Palworld style indie hit? My intel points to this one having a shot. So we wrangled up 5 of our best beginner tips to help you get started now. Here's Agent Zard with our latest intel report on Illuvium. It's mission time.
Hey guys, it's me again, Agent Zard, here to teach you lot how to go from a noob to a pro in Illuvium. With the recent airdrop going on and everyone chasing points trying to gain some money, I thought to myself, it's best to give you guys 5 tips that's going to help you along your journey. As we all know, this game could be very confusing sometimes, so I'm going to make it super simple for you lot. Let's get into it. Whoa, one last thing before we get into this video. A lot of these points could be a whole video within themselves, so I'm going to explain them very shortly for you guys to get along your journey. So if you feel like anything's not been explained in full, just know it could be a whole video within itself. So let's get into these 5 points. Starting off, you guys need to understand there's 3 types of runs you can go on. First off, harvesting. Secondly, gain your monsters. Or thirdly, a mixture of the both. When you're going off harvesting, you're focusing on getting shards, so you can later on go on a monster run and catch a bunch of monsters. But the thing is, to catch monsters, you need shards. So it's kind of like a circle you're constantly in. So you can either focus on one thing at a time, or you can do a mixture of both. It's really down to you. But the thing is, you need to focus on what you're using your energy on. Because every action when you're exploring costs energy, so you kind of need to pick and choose what you want to do and find a balance, because if you go running off trying to catch monsters, eventually you're going to run out of shards and then you're going to have to go on a harvesting run. So like I said already, find a balance and work out what's best for you. It's time for me to tell you guys the next tip, and for me it's kind of important because I want you guys to understand the monster system in the game, and on top of that the shard system, because both of them go hand in hand. Because the big focus of the game is for you to catch your monsters, and the thing is, there's so much math that goes into this when you're trying to catch a monster, because depending on what shard you're using and what tier of monster you're trying to catch, them 2 variables there will dictate how much percentage you have to actually catch the monster. And you can go out and go get a master shard and it just catches everything perfectly, but in reality these items are really hard to get in the game, so you need to kind of get all the shards you can get at the highest tier you can, and then catch the monsters accordingly. Because you can try catch a monster at 6%, or you can try catch a monster at 30%. And I'm telling you now, the 6% ain't gonna work. So you need to learn the system within the game. And when it comes to the monsters, each one of them fall into a different bracket, but everything is basically put into tiers. And you've got tier 0, which is like the free to play part of the game. But then you got tier 1 all the way up to tier 5, and they're the harder monsters to catch because they're the stronger ones. And the thing is, the game makes it really simple for you guys to encounter these monsters as and when you need to, because when you go to the map system, each map is going to have a different kind of level of monsters on there. And obviously you got the first 2 maps which are kind of balanced and easy for everyone to play. Then you got the 3rd map, which is the red map, which is super hard, got super hard monsters on there. But on top of that all, you also got the stage system. So you can either pick stage 0 all the way up to stage 5. And the higher the stage you go, the higher the monster you encounter. So if I was you, I wouldn't go to the maximum stage straight away, because your monsters won't be able to handle the battle. Because the higher the stage you go to, the more Illuviums you're going to need. And we're going to get into a tip later that's going to explain how you're going to get more Illuviums in your team. But understand the system within the game and slowly progress your own way. So at the beginning, start at tier 0, get some monsters, get your team ready, then slowly progress up the stages and slowly complete the decks. The problem is, the subject I'm talking about right now, the monsters and the shard system and the map, could be a video all by itself. So this is the very bare bones and short explanation in it, so you guys can get on your journey. My next tip for you guys is one that a lot of you would definitely overlook, but that is level up your equipment and understand the logic within the store. And that is, some of the things you build can help you within the open world and also in the auto battler. And that is the weapons and some of the armor stuff. But then you also got the mobility equipment that you need to have on your person, which is like the boots, the jetpack and the visor. And the boots and the jetpack are super key for the sheer fact they help you move a lot quicker within the game. And when you're chasing down monsters, mobility and speed is super key. So upgrading these items and equipment super early and when you can is key, because then you're not going to be chasing down these monsters and them getting away, because you're going to have speed on your side. One of the cool little features is when you're trying to upgrade and craft a new item, it requires the old item to make it. So you can slowly make your progression as you're doing it. And you won't have to go and make a second helmet just to make yourself a new one. You can use your previous one to make a new one. And like with most things in the game, for you to get the material to make this equipment, you're going to have to harvest it. That's what I mean about the first point. You're going to have to learn what type of run you're going on when you're using your energy. You're going to go harvesting, getting shards and other materials to level up your equipment, or you're going to focus on catching monsters and slowly completing the decks. We already spoke about it a little bit, and that was the mobility, but in general this is a tip within itself, because mobility is a big focus within the game. Because in Illuvium, you're running around, flying around, sliding around, chasing monsters, and the thing is, for you to get to certain parts of the map, you're going to have to jump and jump higher to get to that point. And that's what I mean. You're going to need to understand the mobility within the game to be able to get around, because otherwise you won't be able to get to every single part of the map, and that means you might be missing out on getting some key monsters. And the thing is, I've not even talked about the big focus, which is chasing the monsters down, because monsters can get away, climb over hills and give you a good little merry-go-round going up and down. So you need to understand how you can move around as quick as you can while shooting them to be able to catch the monsters, because one of the most annoying things in the game is you chasing a monster down, getting it so close, it takes a corner and you can't see it, then it suddenly disappears and it's gone. So for me, focus on learning the mobility in the game. Learn how to slide, learn how to boost the slide and the gliding, because there's so many ways to get around the map that you need to learn them all and master them. My last tip for you guys is going to be one that you won't encounter till the later parts of the game, and that is the fusion system. And the reason you won't encounter it till the later parts of the game is because all the requirements that you guys need to be able to make a monster. So in short, the fusion system allows you to upgrade the monster that you have. So if you have a lesser, if you have 3 of them, you can turn them into a greater version, and then you can go up the ranks until the max form. But the thing is, you need 3 monsters to be able to do this. And on top of that, there's an XP requirement that you need to reach, and it is no small requirement at all. So for me, this is a system for you to complete the decks later down the line, once you caught all the monsters and you have a great team. Because in reality, the amount of XP you need is so high. But the system is so great for you to be able to complete the decks. Because currently with the airdrop going on, everyone's chasing to complete the decks, which is all the monsters in the game. So if there's a system in place that allows you to have more control over the monsters you get, it's great. But you have to grind a lot to be able to use it. So for me, get your grind on now, boys. So that's it, guys. That's my 5 tips for you lot to start your journey on Illuvium. But that's it for me for today. So Agent Zard out.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.